Have you ever wondered how the world would look like if it was covered in ice? Imagine a planet transformed by cold, a world where massive glaciers sculpted the landscape and the life forms adapted to an icy existence. This was the reality during the Ice Age, an epoch of Earth's history that left an indelible mark on our planet. From the formation of breathtaking geographical features to the evolution of unique species, the Ice Age had far-reaching impacts. Join us as we journey back in time to explore this icy era. The Ice Age didn't just happen overnight. It was a gradual process that began millions of years ago, a slow dance between the Earth and its atmosphere that eventually led to the world being covered in vast sheets of ice. Now let's take a step back in time to the dawn of the Ice Age. Imagine our planet, but not as we know it today. This was a world undergoing significant changes. The continents were shifting, moving into positions that would eventually resemble the world map we're familiar with. This tectonic activity significantly impacted ocean currents, altering global weather patterns and leading to a steady decrease in global temperatures. But it wasn't just the shifting continents that contributed to the onset of the Ice Age. Changes in the Earth's orbit and tilt also played a significant role. These changes, known as Milankovitch cycles, affected the amount of sunlight reaching the Earth's surface, causing further cooling. As the world cooled, snow began to fall and accumulate in the higher latitudes. This snow reflected sunlight back into space, a process called albedo, which further cooled the planet. The cooler temperatures prevented the snow from melting in the summer, leading to the formation of ice sheets and glaciers. The climate during the Ice Age was harsh and unforgiving. The world was significantly colder, with average global temperatures dropping by about 10 degrees Celsius. This might not seem like much, but it's enough to turn a temperate forest into a frozen tundra. The Ice Age was a time of extremes. Summers were short and cool, while winters were long and brutally cold. The landscape was dominated by ice and snow, with vast glaciers covering large parts of the continents. Despite these harsh conditions, life found a way to endure. Plants and animals adapted to the cold, evolving traits that would help them survive in this icy world. Just like that, the world as it was known had changed dramatically. From the shifting continents to the falling snow, the onset of the Ice Age marked a significant chapter in our planet's history, a time of dramatic transformation and adaptation. Imagine a world where vast sheets of ice covered the land. Picture, if you will, a time when a significant portion of our planet was locked in an icy grip. This was the Earth during the Ice Age, a period that saw the Earth's surface transformed in extraordinary ways. Now, when we say Ice Age, we're not talking about a few frosty winters. We're talking about a period that lasted for millions of years. During this time, colossal glaciers, some several miles thick, dominated the landscape. These were not static, but slowly moving rivers of ice, grinding and carving their way across the land. From the Arctic to temperate zones, these glaciers reshaped the Earth's topography. Their immense weight pressed down on the land, creating deep basins. As they moved, they scraped and gouged out valleys, leaving behind a legacy of rugged, dramatic landscapes that we see today in places like the Scottish Highlands and the fjords of Norway. Around 25% of the Earth's surface was under ice at the height of the last Ice Age, around 20,000 years ago. North America and Europe bore the brunt of this, with ice sheets extending as far south as present-day New York and London. But it wasn't just the land that was affected. The world's oceans were also dramatically impacted. As water was locked up in ice, sea levels fell by as much as 400 feet, exposing vast tracts of the ocean floor. This created land bridges like the one that once connected Asia and North America, allowing plants, animals, and eventually humans to migrate across continents. The Earth's climate was also drastically altered. Summers were cooler, winters harsher, and the air was drier due to lower levels of evaporation. This changed the types of plants that could grow, which in turn affected the animals that could survive. In this frozen landscape, life had to adapt or perish. The Ice Age was a time of extraordinary change and challenge, but it was also a time of resilience and adaptation, as life found ways to thrive in even the harshest of conditions. Life finds a way even in the coldest conditions. Our frozen world, the Ice Age, wasn't entirely devoid of life. Amid the frost and snow, a diverse range of species survived, adapted, and thrived. These Ice Age survivors were an astonishingly resilient bunch. Among them were the woolly mammoths, formidable beasts with long curved tusks and shaggy hair. These majestic creatures had a unique adaptation to the cold, a layer of fat under their skin, their thick woolly hair and long tusks used for digging through snow to reach food. Then, there were the saber-toothed cats, known for their long, dagger-like canine teeth. These predators were built for endurance in the cold, with their robust bodies and short, powerful legs helping them navigate through the icy terrain. The Ice Age also saw smaller yet equally resilient creatures like the Arctic hare and ptarmigan, birds that changed their plumage from brown to white as a winter camouflage. Let's not forget the flora that endured the Ice Age. Plants like the Arctic willow, a dwarf shrub, adapted to the cold by growing close to the ground to avoid the chilling winds. Grasses and herbs, too, found a way to survive, providing a vital food source for the large herbivores of the time. The Ice Age was not just a time of survival, but also a time of evolution. The harsh conditions acted as a catalyst for adaptation, forcing species to evolve or perish. For some, this meant growing longer fur or developing fat layers. For others, it meant becoming smaller or changing dietary habits. These survivors of the Ice Age, both flora and fauna, stand as a testament to the resilience of life. They adapted, evolved, and persevered, proving that life, in its many forms, could endure even in the face of severe adversity. It's a reminder of the sheer tenacity of life, its ability to persist in even the most inhospitable conditions. These hardy species proved that life could endure even the harshest of winters. But what about us? How did humans fare during the Ice Age? Indeed, we humans are a fascinating species. Not only did we survive the Ice Age, but we also adapted and thrived. So let's delve into how our ancestors managed to weather such an unforgiving era. As the temperature dropped and landscapes transformed, early humans had to alter their way of life dramatically. They started wearing clothes made from animal skins and built shelters to protect themselves from the plummeting temperatures. The cold also meant that food sources were scarce. Humans had to become more resourceful, shifting from a diet primarily composed of plants to one that included a significant amount of meat. They became skilled hunters, relying on large Ice Age mammals like mammoths and woolly rhinoceros for sustenance. But it wasn't just about survival. It was also about innovation. The Ice Age sparked a surge in human ingenuity. Tools became more advanced, with the creation of composite tools, which were made up of several different materials. These tools were not only used for hunting, but also for carving, scraping, and many other tasks. There was also the development of the atlatl, a spear-throwing device that allowed hunters to take down prey from a safer distance. Art also flourished during this period. Cave paintings and sculptures emerged as forms of expression, perhaps as a way for these early humans to make sense of their changing world, or maybe as a means to communicate, to tell stories, and to pass down knowledge. And so, in the face of adversity, humans evolved. They learned to adapt, to innovate, and to thrive. These changes were not merely about survival, they were about the expansion of human capabilities, the birth of new ideas, and the creation of a culture that would lay the foundation for all human societies to come. Despite the challenges, humans proved their resilience during this icy epoch. The Ice Age was a testament to the indomitable spirit of humanity, a spirit that continues to drive us forward, even in the face of the most formidable challenges. All good or bad things must come to an end. And so it was with the Ice Age. The world had been in the grip of ice for thousands of years, but eventually, the Earth began to shake off its icy mantle. This dramatic shift did not happen overnight. It was a process that took centuries, a gradual warming known as the Big Thaw. But what triggered this monumental change? The answer lies in a combination of factors, both celestial and terrestrial. First, let's talk about the Earth's orbit. The Earth doesn't spin in a perfect circle around the Sun. Instead, it follows an elliptical path, and this orbit changes subtly over time, a phenomenon known as orbital forcing. During the Ice Age, the Earth's orbit was such that it received less sunlight, contributing to the global chill. But as the Earth's orbit shifted, it began to receive more sunlight, sparking the beginning of the Big Thaw. But the Earth's orbit wasn't the only factor. Increased volcanic activity also played a crucial role. Volcanoes spewed vast amounts of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. This greenhouse gas traps heat from the sun, causing temperatures to rise. As the Earth's interior churned and roiled, more and more volcanoes erupted, pumping more carbon dioxide into the air and accelerating the thaw. As the ice receded, it revealed a world reshaped. Mountain ranges had been carved out by the relentless march of glaciers. Valleys had been scooped out, and rivers had changed their course. The retreating ice also left behind vast amounts of water, creating lakes and seas. Life, too, began to change. Plants returned, covering the land with green. Animals that had adapted to the cold had to adapt once again to a warmer world, and humans, who had survived the bitter cold, found themselves in a world full of opportunities and challenges. And so, the Ice Age gave way to a warmer world, a world that continues to evolve and change, a testament to the enduring power of our planet. The Ice Age left its mark on the world, a mark that is still visible today. This era of frozen time didn't just pass quietly, it sculpted the world as we know it, leaving behind a canvas of geographical features that tell a tale of the Earth's icy past. The Ice Age was like a great artist, chiseling and painting the landscape with its icy brushes. It carved out valleys, sculpted mountains, and dug deep basins that would later fill with water to become our modern-day lakes. The Great Lakes of North America, Superior, Michigan, Huron, Erie, and Ontario, owe their existence to the massive glaciers that once covered the continent. Rivers, too, are a part of this icy legacy. The Ice Age rerouted many of the world's rivers, creating new paths for them to follow. The mighty Mississippi, the Thames in England, the Rhine in Germany, all were shaped by the moving, melting ice. And let's not forget the landforms, the rolling hills and flat plains of the Midwest, the fjords of Norway, the U-shaped valleys of the Alps, all are remnants of the Ice Age. Glacial erratics, large boulders that were transported and deposited by glaciers, perch incongruously in landscapes where they seem to not belong, silent reminders of a frosty era gone by. But the Ice Age didn't just shape the physical world. It also left a lasting impact on the planet's biodiversity. Some species adapted to the cold, evolving into new forms to survive. Others were not so lucky, and the Ice Age marked their end. The woolly mammoth, the saber-toothed tiger, the giant ground sloth, all fell victim to the changing climate. In the grand tapestry of Earth's history, the Ice Age was a significant chapter. It reshaped our planet, leaving behind a world that was radically different from the one that existed before. The Ice Age may be gone, but its legacy remains. It's a legacy that we can see, touch, and experience, a testament to the power and beauty of nature's forces. What can the Ice Age teach us about our world today? It's a question that might seem as cold as the period itself, but the answers it yields are anything but. The Ice Age, a time when mammoths roamed and glaciers towered, was not just a period of extreme cold. It was a testament to the planet's capacity for change and resilience. It's a story of survival, adaptation, and the unyielding power of nature that offers us important lessons for our world today. One of the most profound lessons is the impact of climate change. The Ice Age didn't occur in a vacuum. It was the result of complex climate patterns and geological factors, a dance of the Earth's orbit, greenhouse gases, and polar ice. It's a stark reminder of how changes in the Earth's climate can drastically reshape our world, creating new landscapes and altering the course of life itself. Just as the world adapted to the Ice Age, we're now faced with our own era of climate change. The glaciers may not be expanding, but our world is undeniably changing. We're witnessing melting ice caps, rising sea levels, and shifting weather patterns. The lesson from the Ice Age is clear. Climate change is not just a future possibility, it's a present reality. Yet the Ice Age also teaches us about the resilience of life. Despite the harsh conditions, life found a way to persist. From the woolly mammoths and saber-toothed tigers to our own ancestors, the Ice Age survivors adapted and thrived. They developed new behaviors, evolved physically, and changed their ways of life to survive in a world covered in ice. It's a testament to the adaptability of life, a quality we must harness as we navigate our own changing world. The Ice Age serves as a chilling reminder of the power of nature and the adaptability of life. It teaches us that change is inevitable, but survival is possible. It's a lesson from the past that can guide us in the present and prepare us for the future. Could there be another Ice Age in our future? Now, there's a chilling question. As we delve into this icy topic, let's remember that the Earth has experienced multiple ice ages in its long history, so it's not out of the realm of possibility that we could see another one. Let's start by looking at current climate trends. We've all heard about global warming, right? Average temperatures are on the rise, polar ice caps are melting, and sea levels are increasing. It seems counterintuitive to think that these signs of a warming planet could lead to a new ice age, but the Earth's climate system is complex and interconnected. Here's the intriguing part. Some scientists suggest that the melting of polar ice could disrupt ocean currents, specifically the Atlantic Meridional Overturning Circulation, or AMOC, that helps regulate the planet's climate. If the AMOC were to slow down or stop, it could potentially trigger an ice age. Now, before you start stocking up on woolly mammoth fur coats, remember that this is just one theory. There's a lot we don't know about our planet's climate system. And while the idea of a future ice age might seem alarming, it's not something that would happen overnight. We're talking about changes that would occur over tens of thousands of years. On the other hand, some climate models predict that the ongoing increase in greenhouse gas emissions will actually prevent another ice age from happening. By warming the planet, these emissions could keep the Earth out of the range of temperatures needed to kickstart an ice age. So, what's the verdict? Well, the science is still out. Predicting the future of our planet's climate is no easy task. It involves complex models, a deep understanding of past climate changes, and a bit of educated guesswork. Only time will tell if another ice age is on the horizon. In the meantime, let's continue to learn, adapt, and do our best to take care of our incredible planet. After all, it's the only one we've got. Our journey through the Ice Age has been a chilling one. We began with the cold question of how Earth plunged into this frosty era. We discovered that a combination of factors, including shifts in Earth's orbit and lower levels of carbon dioxide, led to a global drop in temperature. This set the stage for the Ice Age, a period that lasted for millions of years, and dramatically reshaped our planet's landscape. Our journey then took us to the icy beginning, where we saw the first glaciers creep across the land. These colossal ice sheets, some of which were several kilometers thick, covered vast parts of the Earth, from the poles to places we now know as New York and London. We explored the frozen Earth, a world where survival was a daily struggle. Despite the harsh conditions, life found a way. Ice Age survivors, from mammoths and saber-toothed tigers to early humans, adapted to the icy environment, developing unique traits and behaviors to endure the cold. We delved into the human element of the Ice Age, examining how our ancestors not only survived but thrived during this era. They developed tools, created art, and formed communities, demonstrating the resilience and adaptability that are hallmarks of our species. From there, we witnessed the Big Thaw, the end of the Ice Age. The Earth warmed, the glaciers retreated, and the world as we know it began to take shape. But the Ice Age left its mark, from the carved valleys and lakes we see today, to the rise of modern humans. We considered the aftermath of the Ice Age, recognizing its lasting impact on our planet and its life. Its end led to the rise of civilizations, shaped our environment, and even influenced our current understanding of climate change. We learned lessons from the Ice Age, acknowledging its importance in understanding our planet's past, present, and future. The Ice Age serves as a stark reminder of Earth's capacity for change and the importance of our role in preserving it. Finally, we speculated about the next Ice Age, acknowledging that while it may be many thousands of years away, the Earth's climate will continue to evolve, and we must be prepared for whatever comes next. As we wrap up, remember the Ice Age as a testament to the ever-changing nature of our planet and the resilience of life. Until next time, keep exploring.